Good. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Commissioner Al Hofer, Chair of the Elmore County Commissioners. I will be chairing today's meeting and representing Elmore County. I call the Public Health District for Budget Committee meeting order today, Friday, May 12th at 10 a.m. to consider proposed fiscal year 2024 budget for Central District Health. And roll call and start wherever you want to, right here. No? Oh, just members of the budget. Okay. Yeah, all right, thank you.
It's just you guys, just you guys.
Oh, it's just over here. We don't want to count that guy in the end.
Yeah, that's right. Don't count him.
Commissioner Tucker.
Commissioner Hasbrook, Valley County.
Rod Beck, Aiken.
Okay, then we'll take a vote on the minutes from the May 2022.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the minutes of May 20th, 2022.
Second. All in favor?
Well, there's a mistake on it. There, no, there's a mistake. The motion was made by Rob Beck. I don't know him, but I do know Rod.
You got corrected.
So you correct that. If you correct that, it'll be a good motion. All right. Second motion, I guess. Do you need a second?
All in favor?
All right.
All right.
Aye.
All right.
Is that your brother, Rod?
I don't know. I don't know Rob. Rod was on the roll call, but on the motion. I get that. Okay. So before we get to discussing the budget, there is an item I'd like to discuss a little bit, if I could.
Let's do it.
Ada County appoints 3 members of the board. We have one of our members here today. Do we have one on the phone?
Not yet.
Okay. For the actual health district board, we appoint 3, and Elmore County appoints 2, and then Valley County and Boise County has 1 member of this board. And when we made it our 2 appointments, except for Jane here, she was sailed through. We made 2 appointments. We had really a difficult time with that. We finally got them approved. And I'd like to throw that out there, that why is it that we have to have a difficult time when we come up with basically 90% of the property tax budget? Should we get to a point who we want to this board? Now, we may or may not be having an opening coming up, but if we do, are we going to have to fight it with other commissioners?
My only statement on that is from another commissioner on our board, that they would like the opportunity to meet these candidates and interview them, but it's like, I don't know how you're gonna make that work, because you can't expect somebody to drive up to Valley County for a 10 or 15-minute interview for this. So I said, why don't you give them a call them up, talk to these people, and get that contact information and dig into it yourself. I don't think it has to be in front of all of us kind of a situation. That was the only comment I heard.
Well, my view is, okay, you can have discussions, but we should appoint who we want to appoint. The Ada County Commission should appoint who we want to appoint, and not have to be second guessed by the other 3 commissions. Now, Boise County always supported ours, but we had difficulty with it. And now it brings up an interesting question, because the Megan is your term's expiring, and for the board, and apparently the Elmore County Commission has sent Crystal as the new nominee. And she opposed both of our nominees. So we're going, well, I don't know. I mean, we may or may not. I don't know. I mean, I think we should just go ahead and support whoever the county commission sends to us. But I'd like some reciprocity on that as well.
Well, and I'm not trying to make the pot bigger here, but isn't it also, if 3 counties decided that they didn't like another county's rep, we could ask them to be removed?
That's what the law is, yes.
Yeah. And
it's not 3 counties, it's majority.
Yeah, but
It's majority of the 12 county commissioners.
And I kind of agree with Rod in the aspect that if there's someone on there the public doesn't like, the commissioners will take the political heat, not the health district, which is the way it's supposed to work.
Right. Well, I just bring that up just because I don't know if we're going to have an opening, because we have your term is just, you're in the middle of your first term, right?
Yep.
So I don't think we'll have an opening for a few years, and I think the other two are gonna be on it for a while, but just in the event they do, I'd kind of like to know if we're gonna have to fight it, whoever we put up.
I think to have that discussion, it should be all the commissioners, not just one. I'm not gonna speak for two,
Oh, I get that.
you know, but I mean, if you wanna have that discussion, it should be with all the commissioners, which can be done via Zoom or whatever. Just to be fair, so,
Or it could be a state law to change it to make that.
because I know who you're pointing the daggers at and they're not here, so.
I get that. Yeah, I have to give due respect to Al. Al supported both of our nominees and appreciate that. And
Yeah, no,
Al
I
supported one.
right, but
Well, is there, I know,
again, if I'm not gonna speak for our board,
Sure,
just
I get
myself.
I just want to point that out. We don't have, we can't make any, I'm not asking for commitments or anything. I'm just saying, I would hope we could get the same deference that we'll grant ours. We had, you came up and we didn't have any objection to.
And maybe when the appointments come around, it's time to have that discussion before the appointment.
Right. Fair. Well, anyway,
Then you know where everybody's standing.
I just want to point that out. And in addition to that, in addition to us providing 90% of the property tax,
You guys got all the money, that's why.
well, we don't have all the money. We have some of the money.
Most of it.
They're in the formula. I get that. But we've how much money we give you with our ARPA dollars? A couple of $1 million. And we're committed to about,
It's a little over 2 million.
Yeah.
so far, but we're committed to about 4.5 or something like that, correct?
My understanding is 2 million total for the,
Well, for this cycle, but 3.6 million for the student and family edition, 725 for the nursing partnership, about 259 for the parents and teachers, 108 for screening, briefing, referral for treatment, right? So anyway,
But how much did you guys get to start with?
we got a bunch.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I just want to point that out. We got a bunch, and I think it's, they're doing a good job and, of that, with using that, because that's a good program, the Students and Family Assistance Program. But anyway, we're doing a lot for the health district.
No, this Central District Health does provide just such a variety.
Well, this is an enhanced service that they were not doing prior, and, so I think it's good. I think it's good. So anyway, go ahead. I'm done.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
well, if I could expand on the previous conversation Rod was talking about, I know in our situation, the big discussion was that is he conflicted now being the Attorney General? And I don't know if does the Attorney General fight any of our battles? I don't know if there's a conflict there or not, but that was part of the discussion. And the other thing that I think we've got to start thinking about is because of COVID and everything went on Zoom and everything is on a screen, when are we going to come back to, you got to attend the meetings in person? Because I think that is where we're losing a lot of the cohesion, a lot of the interpersonal relationships. When everybody's on Zoom, you miss that. I know we miss it on our county level, big time. And so we're encouraging people to come back in.
Oh, yeah, and so we don't, we still have the Zoom meetings, but we allow for our open business meeting, but, just a few people. It's not participants that they won't like.
Yeah, usually somebody wants to give you a report or something like that, but I think actual board members should be at the meeting.
I agree. I think that we should, but that's up to the board. I think that's sort of a decision.
So that's good to know. If you're feeling that way, I think that's something we need to discuss as a board down the road.
Well, I think it is. I think live sessions is way better than Zoom things. And you just lose a lot when you're looking at Zoom. But when you're in live, there's a lot to body language. And you can sort of pick up on that when you're in the meetings and sort of, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm saying something wrong. You can't get that on Zoom. It just,
I would have a concern, like you say, withdrawal outdoors. I would have that concern with what's going on right now.
well, he thought that he was conflicted because he thought when he first got elected, he thought that like a lot of people that the Central District Health was a state agency and he'd have to represent them. It's not a state agency, and he does no representation for the health board at all. But he may be doing some things, that he may have to conflict himself. And if he does, then he'll have to resign if he has a conflict.
I think with their lawsuit that's going on right now is a big flag.
I kind of agree, Al. I think the Planned Parenthood lawsuit and all that may be conflicted already for some of the things.
Well, they
I don't know.
included all the counties in that with their prosecutors. That's one big umbrella. So they're suing Ral Labrador plus all the counties.
That's the ACLU's doing that suit.
Yeah. And we've actually asked the prosecutors to come out against, and because they didn't indemnify the counties. So if we lose, or if he loses the case, the counties are gonna pay that side. And we don't have that money.
As far as Elmer County, our prosecutor and some other counties, I don't know who and how many, cause they wanted to be able to put something into that and they were told no.
Right.
So they're going out, getting their own counsel to represent them.
Well, I think that's
Because they're lumped into this pile.
and we're doing that same. We're not getting outside counsel, but our lawyers are going to enter in as intervener.
Yeah, as far as the counties, though, your head lawyer is your prosecutor. So
That's right.
it's a problem.
Yeah, I think it is, and I hope the ACLU is shown the highway. But who knows what the court's gonna do? It's a federal case.
Well, they haven't settled the public defense
The tougher thing.
issue.
Yeah,
Well,
That's been years.
that's a different,
it's a different story too.
That's a completely different story, and I think that's gonna be resolved with this, change of public defense system. And they're gonna keep going. They still don't like it because it doesn't have everything they want in it.
Mhm.
And, I say, fine, we'll just file a motion, get it dismissed, because they can't win that. They're not gonna win that, because we have a pretty good case. State does.
But they haven't taken it to task.
Yeah, well, there's been a bunch of.
Laying back and hiding is not the correct answer.
What's that?
Laying back and hiding
Oh,
is not the
absolutely.
answer.
No, it's not the answer. And I think we're gonna have to take aggressive action on it, but that's, again, that's the state. Need to do that, because they actually, because there was
It's the state as usual.
But it affects the county.
Yes, it does affect the county. However, one of the reasons that we changed the public defense system completely, you're gonna be involved in, you're not gonna have a prosecutor here, or not a prosecutor, a defense lawyer here. It's gonna be part of the magistrate commission will pick the new public defender from this area.
It's a regional,
It's a regional.
yeah, regional system, which I think is gonna work okay, as long as we're not spending all of our money in front of a windshield.
Right.
That's my concern.
Well, we don't want that. And I don't think you will. And the public defense person, whomever the magistrate commission chooses, will need to present themselves to each county commission every year and give a report, that's all good. See,
Yeah.
that was one of our main objectives, is to make sure that we kept local control. So it's still state, there'll be a state public defender, but there'll be some local control. I think that's.
I'll believe that when I see it. Local control, no.
Well, who's on your magistrate commission? From Elmore County, I forget it. Who's on the magistrate commission? You
Oh,
are.
yeah, it's a lady, shoot.
But whoever your magistrate commission representative is, and it's not the whole magistrate commission, it's the magistrate commission minus judges. That's
No,
Enough of that is shaken.
no judges, there's no judges,
Good,
And-
I like that.
I will share it, because it's the county commission that has the legacy office in the district that chairs it. And then if there's two, then it's the one with the more seniority that chairs it.
The oldest guy.
No, the senior. Most seniority on the, being on a commission, because there may be a couple of counties that has two legacy offices. I don't know, but there may be, but it'll be so this magistrate commission is not the same makeup as the as the actual magistrate commission. They just call it that because judges are removed from it. And a couple of defense lawyers
Good to know.
are beyond it as well. And then soon, and this, it'll be a while, but eventually,
They're all appointed though by the governor.
no, they're not.
You sure?
I'm positive. Governor didn't appoint me,
How'd you sneak in?
because I'm chairman of the Ada County Commission and we get a seat on it. No, they're not appointed by the governor. Each commission,
Votes them in.
each
And
commission.
yeah, when I've known one from Valley County for years, and then they asked me to serve on it, I said, well, yeah, sure. And for you guys in the audience who don't know what we're talking about, Magistrate Commission interviews attorneys for magistrate judge positions in our district. And we might have 17 applicants, 15 applicants for each judgeship, so it's a lot of work. I mean, and it's awesome, because you can find out if you're liberal, conservative, what kind of person are we talking about, and we get into the dirt, basically, with a lot of these candidates.
Well, and that commission minus the judges will pick the public defender for this
For this region.
region. And each judicial district will have the magistrate commission minus judges will pick the public defender. And this public defender then will hire the rest of the defense team. And the counties won't pay for any. It's a state appropriation.
And we're supposed to not levy for it, and then we have to show that on our
Yeah, we have to take the levy.
property tax, that we relieved your taxes this much because we're not levying for it.
That's right.
It has to be actually on your tax bill. So when you get your tax bill this year, look at it. There's gonna be different things on there we're not supposed to pay.
But you're right. But you're right, Al. Some of the members of the magistrate commission are appointed by the governor.
Yeah,
But not all of them. Not all,
I know, but they shouldn't be at all.
oh, I'm talk to the
Because
majority.
the whole thing's problematic.
Oh, yeah.
Just write it and see.
All right, well, we'll see how it works. But you can put yourself on that magistrate commission if you want to.
Well, but I think getting back to our original discussion, it kind of brings up an important point about with Raul being conflicted. Who do we go to find out? Because he's the man that makes that decision.
I've already talked to Ralph. I'm going to Ralph to find out.
Yeah, I know, and it's not that I don't think he does a great job. I think he's
I think.
been an asset on the board, but you know how these attorneys work.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get ourselves in trouble here.
We're not gonna get ourselves in trouble. I think we'll be just fine. Okay. All right.
Control.
There's Raul.
There's Ralph.
Yeah, I've been here for a while and, Madam Chair, may I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you need to be very careful when you're talking about conflicts because conflicts has a legal definition. And I love how people throw the word conflict around. Don't throw the word around if you don't know what the legal definition is. A lawyer only has conflicts when the law says that he has a conflict or the rules of professional conduct say that he has a conflict. The media loves to throw the word around. My political opponents love to throw the word around. Just be very careful with throwing the word around about conflicts because the only people that can define what a conflict is are lawyers. So I'm not saying that I do or don't have a conflict, but just be very careful when you're throwing that around because it actually means something. It's not just a word that is meaningless. It has a meaning in the law, and you should be very careful when you're throwing that word around.
And it's done all the time with our prosecutor and our public defense. Our public defense, we have a whole list of conflict lawyers. When they declare a conflict, then there's a conflict lawyer that takes it over. And there's a rational basis for it.
Right, and a lawyer gets to, sometimes you can represent a client, sometimes you can't, and you go through a conflicts check every single time that you go through it. I don't represent, I think Rod said this earlier. At the beginning, I was concerned because I thought in some way the Attorney General's office was going to represent the board, and if we had to represent the board in some legal way, then I would have a conflict, but we don't represent the board. So I would just be very cautious about using the word conflict because it actually means something. It's not just a word that you can just throw around.
Commissioner Hooper, we, maybe want to,
Get to the budget.
well, I think it's good discussion.
Yeah, sure.
Thinking let's do that and then because, Chairman Nettleton to meet. That meeting actually hasn't started yet, so.
Right.
Your
Yeah,
meeting.
it's your meeting, yeah.
Yep.
So are you gonna, what are you gonna do with the budget? Discuss it, approve it? I mean, what's,
So, for clarification, so what we do today is the budget committee, which is the four of you, you're chairing the meeting, will do roll call and then take a motion to approve the budget. And if it's seconded, then there's opportunity for discussion. Then you, if it's agreeable to everyone, then you just do roll call vote.
in accordance with Idaho Code 34-423, the Budget Committee will now consider Central District Health's fiscal year 2024 budget to begin on July 1, 2023. The county contribution includes a 3% increase from the fiscal year 23 budget. The total county contribution for the proposed fiscal year 24 budget is $5,351,400. The proposed fiscal year 24 Central District Health budget, including all fund sources, is $17,535,400. The budget has been presented to each of the boards of commissioners within our district. I would ask for a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's important for everybody to kind of understand because a lot of the county contributions have pretty much doubled over the last year, but we remember when it was a 316 passed, the counties gave up indigent in order to take over management of the health districts. And we knew last year that the state was going to fund half of that budget. This year, we're going to fund, they're not going to fund any, we're going to fund all of it. And so everybody understands that's why those figures have pretty much doubled from a year ago, because the state is basically clear out of it now. Just so everybody understands. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the FY24 budget for the Central District Health as presented.
I would second. Discussion.
The only discussion, I think if you want to get into the detail, there's on your back page there's a lot of detail on what the Central District Health does. And, you know, they got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went through all that.
Yeah. And, the staff of Central District Health would present themselves at the Ada County Commission. I'm sure they did others as well. And, they do a lot of things. And, the budget reflects that. And, I'm willing to move to forward it. Fast.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Budget passed.
Well, according to the minutes of our last meeting, that's about all we need, right?
Yep.
That's correct.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right. Well, I would move the budget committee adjourned.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Easy.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, we had a good discussion. I'm not gonna